Hello and welcome to Shockwave 75's review of Mech Ideas Bluster and Trench. Here's the two figures, but before I get to them, we're going to take a quick look at the box they come in. Some nice packaging they put there. They come packaged side by side. There is a nice little bio on the top. I'm not going to read it. You can pause it and read it on your own time. There's a nice artwork on the back of the two of them. And I just actually discovered this morning when I was looking at the box that they actually went and they have individual mottos for the two of them on either side of the box. For Trench, his motto is, "This is why we hate organics." And for Bluster, it's motto, "Nuttin', what's the motto with you?" Whatever. Cheesy puns. Yeah, there's nothing really remarkable about the box, it's just a nice box. The only thing I think they could have improved on it is maybe making it look a little more like the old animated packaging, but I mean really, unless you're like a weirdo MISB collector, that doesn't really matter because nobody's going to see the box. One thing I'd like to point out that I thought was odd, since I mean maybe those of you out there who buy a lot of third-party figures, maybe this is something you run into a lot. On the bottom they have some warnings. Collectible for items age 16 and up, choking hazards, yada yada yada. One part that says, go through the manual before using the product. No replacement parts will be provided for any damage caused by misuse. So basically, if you break one of them, you're screwed. You're up, a certain creek without a paddle. It makes sense, but I don't know this company, I don't know if I would put that outright on my box, because just to me it doesn't scream good customer relations, saying, "Oh, you paid this, you paid $60 for our toys," which is the price of these guys, by the way. But if you break them, TS. Anyhow, that aside, let's take a look at these guys. Now, they're basically the exact same mold, just with slight differences. I'm going to adjust my camera here. So, in that they're the same mold, I'm going to show you the transformation for one of them because doing them both would be redundant. But then, going back to robot mode, I'll do the other one. So, but before I get there, their plastic quality is really nice. Their sculpting is really nice, as you can see them. Basically, it's like the quality of plastic and everything is so good that, well, if you didn't know that they weren't Hasbro product, you'd never know. As you can see, they don't come with those Autobot symbols on them. Those are repro labels I added, but they do have nice little indents on their bellies there where where their symbols are supposed to go. The accessories they come with are Bluster's plunger and wrench. They're neat. You're looking at what they do. The only improvement I think I could have made, would have suggested, is you can see the handles on them are flat. I maybe would have suggested making them round so that they're easier to place in the figure's hands. As such, you just have to get them just right or they won't hold them. Also, because of their truck parts over their heads, they're a little back heavy. Not so terribly, but they have these little heel spurs that you can see here. they help. They're kind of fiddly to get in just in the right position, especially for Bluster here, because of the way you have to transform his legs to make him shorter than Trench to get, you know, the desired effect. Because as we can plainly see, well, the artist who created them, Derek J. Wyatt, modeled them after video game legends Mario and Luigi, and Mario is of course shorter than Luigi. You can transform Bluster so that he's the same height, basically, as Trench, but then he looks funny because he's got this, you know, stubby, tiny little body and these, you know, long ass legs. It would have been nice maybe if somehow they could have done something equally so you could collapse his arms a little bit to make them like a little more proportional, because as it is, he kind of has, you know, simian arms, like his fingertips are almost down at his ankles for cripe's sake. But other than that, these are great figures. I love them. It's $60. That's usually that's kind of a lot of money for me to spend on figures, but I love Animated, and as soon as these guys came out, I knew I had to have them. There is a variant of these guys that you can get exclusive to TFCon and I believe Auto Assembly in Britain, that they are colored like Mario and Luigi. There are reviews of them out there. You can find them. I've seen them. They're really nice. I believe at the convention, which is the only place you can get them unless you want to pay aftermarket prices on eBay and whatnot have you. The set is $90 for the exclusive set. And listening to the TFCon Runners podcast, Canadian Slag, the other day, and they mentioned that they didn't sell out. There will be some available for TFCon Chicago, but only about 7 or 8 like pieces of them. So to those lucky few who want to get the con exclusives at a semi-reasonable price, good luck to you. I hope you go to TFCon Chicago every time. The guys are great. Slap down $90 at the Mech Idea vendors, and they're yours. The box is different for them too. It looks like the old school Mario cartridge packaging. It's pretty cool. Anyways, so they have pretty good ranges of posability. The elbows are ball jointed. They have full range of motions on their arms. Even their heads got like little tiny ball joints in there. I was impressed by that. The legs move even wider because there's a transformation joint there. You can make him really tall by putting his legs completely down like that. Looks a little odd though. And his knees, but again, you posing the knees, it's iffy because then you got to adjust the heel spurs, and it's, you know, the heel spurs could have been better. They could have been, I don't know, I think longer. Anyway. Okay, let me show you transformation. I will do Trench, since I've found, in my experience, he tends to be a little bit easier. First you pop off the pipes off his arms. Just put them there. And I'll begin with his legs. Actually, no, I'll begin with his arms. I lied. Fold his hands in like that. Bring them up and position them just so. The same on the other side. And here, if you want now, you can bring the hood down, and I don't know if it's coming through on the camera. There's a little tab and slot there where you tab the arm bits into the cab to help hold it in position, hold everything in position. The transformation is a little fiddly, and I'll show you why. So when you're doing the legs, arms go into position, no problem. when you're doing the legs, you got to open them up, and you fold the feet up and the little tread all the way up like that, and you collapse it in on itself. Then you got to bring the whole leg joint forward like so, and you see there's a little tab here and a little corresponding slot just in there. I don't know if you can see it, if it's showing up, but they're supposed to go together, and they sometimes don't. It's kind of you know, a when they feel like it kind of thing. And then too, see, sometimes the tab from the hood comes out and you have to readjust everything. But for some reason, yeah, I've found that Trench of the two seems to be the easier one to transform, and I don't know why. He gives me the least amount of problems transforming him. Let's see, if you don't get everything just right, everything kind of pops out. Sometimes I think I'd like to find the designer and punch him right in the face for my frustration. See, and this side pops out. And get really irksome. So again, too, sort of like get them in their robot mode. Put them in their robot mode and just leave them alone. Get them, if you manage to get them in vehicle mode properly, put them in there and leave them alone. And see, and then you take his pipes and you peg them on the back. Oh, it's upside down. And there you have their alt mode. It's cool, it's cute, it's tiny. It is what it is. I think the only improvement I would have suggested that they made is, I don't know how they could have, though, looking at the bottom of it, is I would like maybe some like little wheels so that they roll, because they don't. Okay, now here we have them both in their vehicle modes. You can see they're basically identical. But they're really cool. I mean, I guess like the original G1 Huffer and Pipes, who are basically identical except for some minor differences. There's a bar on the back of Bluster where you can clip his accessories to. It's a neat little addition so they're not just laying around if and when you choose to transform him. Yeah, I really dig them. I mean, they look great. They're just the way Derek J. Wyatt designed them, and according to my research, Bluster or Huffer there is actually in one or two, maybe three of the, I think, season 3 animated episodes in the background, but basically, you know, blink and you'll miss them. Trench, aka Pipes, is not. He only appears in the animated Allspark Almanac Volume 2, which is a great book. They're both great books. Go out and buy them. And yeah, so there's their vehicle modes. Now I'll put them back in their robot modes. Here I will do Bluster just to show you to collapse the legs, and you'll unclip the things. And this bar too can come out, and you could swap them around. So you can put the pipes. You can put the pipes on the back of him, and you put the bar on the back of him. If the mood strikes you. So the one interesting mold difference between the two is that when you have to bring the legs forward, maybe because he has such a shorter body, that there's a little spot in here where it kind of secures the upper body, because the upper bodies there's waist articulation. You can twist them at the waist. So this goes all the way up and kind of locks it in position, where this guy doesn't have that. So we'll bring the legs down, bring the arms out, and once you bring the arms down, well, they're basically done. Like I said, the legs can be a little tricky because there's the regular transformation where you could have him be as tall as his brother, like that. So he's got these, and like I say, you got to get out the heel spur, just kind of a pain. And give him really long legs, and he's just kind of funny looking that way. It doesn't go. So what you do is you open up his legs, and it's basically like partially transforming him to vehicle mode. You just close them up, collapse them, but then comes the finicky part, because then you have to position everything just so that he'll stand. The feet and the heels, his arms down, get his hood in position, and there you go. There's Bluster. Okay, we're back in roam up mode, and a lot of you might be asking, as I was, now how do they look with other animated figures? Well, here's the answer to that question. Here they are. Here is Activator's Bumblebee. Here's Deluxe Cybertronian Ratchet. And here's Voyager Optimus. So they're pretty tiny. Like you can see, they're even, I mean, in his smaller mode, Bluster's even shorter than Activator Bumblebee, who personally I think is the best scaled animated Bumblebee. And which is fine, because Huffer and Pipes were mini bots, so they should be small. They really shouldn't be any bigger than this. And they look great in your animated display. The only thing, basically, to end this, I know Mech Ideas, these guys were supposed to come out a while back, and they had some kind of problems getting them out with funding or something. I mean, obviously I don't work for them, I'm not privy to their issues, but obviously they did find a way to get them out. And they're great, I love them, but I think my only advice to them would be, since animated, I think, in my opinion, is sort of a niche market even within the Transformers fandom, because it seems to have become like Beast Wars. Either you're a fan or you're not. There doesn't really seem to be an in-between. That said, the market is kind of limited. The two-pack of these guys cost $60, which I think is reasonable, given that they're only actually available through PlanetSteelExpress.com, to my knowledge. And I think my only advice to them, if they're going to continue with this line, they're called the Techno-Toon Titans. I think it would be basically, the best advice that they say, to most people, keep it simple, stupid. Keep the toys affordable like this. Keep them cheap, because there's, like I said, it's kind of like a niche market. They're not like, you know, there's not going to be a, I don't think, again, just my opinion, there's not a huge market base for these guys, I don't think. So price wise, I think if you guys are going to produce, it's a deluxe sized figure or even a Voyager sized figure, I don't really think either of them should break $100. I think if you can get a Voyager, sorry, a deluxe sized figure for, say, maybe $50, that'd be great. And like I said, keep it simple. Don't try to pack in, you know, lots of flashy gimmicks, you know, electronics or whatever. Just stay like these guys with basic little weapons, you know, because even like Animated as a toy line wasn't full of flashy gimmicks. I mean, you know, Optimus has a little squirt gun that I've never actually used, and Ratchet there has his little defibrillator pads, and I mean, that's it. He's got his little punchy arm gimmick that's questionable, but I mean, that's about it. They don't really do a whole lot. So if you guys go forward, and I hope you do, because I love these guys, and I'd love to get more animated style figures. Yeah, just keep them simple, keep them cheap, and I think the line will be a success. So with that, I'll bid you adieu for now, and thanks for watching. I hope if you like it, you know, give me down the bottom, give me a like, hell, give me a subscribe if you want, and I'll see you next time. See ya.